Hello, everybody. This is Noah and John, and we are from UrbanDigs, and it is Monday. So you're going to get your Brooklyn weekly market update. John, let's get right to it. I'm looking at Brooklyn supply, 3,496. Show me that chart.
Yeah, that's up about 1.5% from last week. And what we're seeing is Brooklyn supply ticking up. But as you can see this chart, Noah, like Manhattan, it's been a very lackluster month for supply. So even though Brooklyn supply is up, it's really not up all that much.
Yeah, same as Manhattan. Supply is like doing a seasonal thing. It's not really doing anything macro or worth talking about. Let's shift over to Brooklyn demand pending sales, 2,051. Johnny, show me that chart.
Yeah, and here's where the comparison with Manhattan somewhat ends, right? Pending sales actually ticked up here almost 1%, but it's kind of signaling that pending sales is struggling here. We're right back on that line of 2020. Now, granted, that 2020 line had sort of turned around right after the reopening in late July or early July, I suppose. So we're kind of right back around 2020 levels. However, it's still early in the game here, Noah, to see which way this breaks.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot more data and a lot more change in deal volume to really show us some recovery out of this cycle right now. And when you go to the market pulse right over here, it's not terrible. The market pulse in Manhattan is definitely showing us more stress than in Brooklyn. And you know what I look for when this market pulse, whenever it goes down, is I'm looking for some type of change in that slope or that direction of the downtrend. And I it looks like it's kind of changing just a little bit over here, but it's too early to tell, especially when you got some macro situations coming on. You got to be a bit cautious in calling a bottom. But anyway, let's go to the weeklies, Johnny, and see if there's any information there. I'm looking at 1 week Brooklyn supply, 213 things. Show me that chart.
Well, that's down about 5% compared to the week before, and this is what you're going to see as this fall busy season slowly comes to a close. And that's just that every week that supply is going to get a little bit lower, a little bit lower, a little bit lower, and that's what we're seeing here, Noah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And you know what? Again, until that starts popping over 250 or 270, this is just it's not a lot of inventory. So I mean, supply is not going to be turning around anywhere soon unless that number changes right over there. Johnny, let's go to contract signed 101. That's down 10%. Show me that chart.
Yeah, it's a little bit concerning, right? Because you expect this time of October, you just want to see those contract numbers start popping up as that we get those buyers start turning over those contracts. Haven't seen it yet. We're down 10% on the week, and it's actually lower than the week before. Now, granted, last week was we had a holiday, so that could have something to do with it. But generally, you're going to want to see this number ticking up, and I'm not sure if we're going to see that. I mean, it's still staying above 100, which is a good sign, but it's looking a little weaker, definitely than I would have expected at this point.
Yeah, and this is my concern, John. And if we take that pace and we go into a 30-day pace of it right now, you can see 446 is that 30-day pace, and we plot that number on a chart, and we look at that chart long term and the direction of that deal volume 30-day pace. It looks like this, and we're making new lows for the year. So I just want to point out right there that we're making new lows for the year. And again, this is where the similarities to Manhattan are pretty evident. I'm a bit concerned about right now because we all know we shifted. We all know that September is usually a weak deal volume month, so we're not supposed to see deal volume rise. So we saw a shift down from record levels down to seasonal levels. October is supposed to be that rebound month, and both Manhattan and Brooklyn are just kind of sluggish. And I wonder when these times come in, are we now in another little minor wave down right now and we just don't know it? That's the kind of stuff that happens when deal volume gets down this low, Johnny.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And when you look at sort of the history of this, contract sign paces, it's worked its way off of these highs. You have to be asking yourself, which way is it? Is it more likely to go? We're more likely to see, we're going to close the year out at close to these highs. We're going to, close the year out at lower numbers. And I don't necessarily know which way it's going to go, but I do know the probability is more likely to the downside than toward the higher end of the upside here. So keep that in mind. If you're not seeing the traction you're getting at your open houses, simply this is a reflection of how many buyers are out there, and that number is working its way lower.
Yeah, that's exactly a very good point. And I think we're going to be in this lower volume of deals versus historical for a little bit. I hate to say, just until this Fed cycle clears its way out. Johnny, thank you so much for pulling up this data. That is John Walkup. I am Noah Rosenblatt. We are both from UrbanDigs. Don't forget, you guys got questions, we got answers. Please visit our forum right down here. If you want any of the charts John whipped up, it'll be right over here in just a few seconds. If you've never tried UrbanDigs before, give it a try. Don't cost nothing. 2 weeks free. Other than that, this has been your Brooklyn Weekly Market Update, and we'll catch you next time.